ask you this. Would you rather work harder or smarter? Have you ever noticed how some drone operators seem to close contracts almost effortlessly while others hustle nonstop to try to stay aloft? And they're flying the same drones, using the same cameras, offering the same services, yet one drone business scales while the other stalls. Why? Because closing more deals is not about effort and perspiration. It's about structure. Most drone entrepreneurs, they believe the answer is more outreach, sending more proposals, making more follow-up calls, and spending more time networking. But if your close rate is not improving, the problem probably is not your activity. You see, it all comes down to drone business architecture. In today's Drone Pilot MBA strategy session, I'm going to introduce to you the 5 Forces sales strategy. It's a structural blueprint designed to help you as a drone operator close more contracts, protect your pricing, and build predictable revenue growth. If you're ready to move beyond the hustle mode, you won't want to miss what's ahead in this exclusive Drone Entrepreneur session. Our focus today is why drone pilots fail to close deals and the 5 forces that fix it. Thanks for joining me. So why is it? Why do so many drone pilots fail to close more deals? In today's Drone Pilot MBA strategy session, we're focusing on one of the most critical drivers of drone business expansion, and that's your ability to convert opportunities into signed contracts consistently, not occasionally, not once in a while, not randomly, consistently. The 5 Forces sales strategy represents a fundamental shift. It's the difference between managing sales activity and engineering a revenue system. Most drone business, well, they operate inside a constant racetrack, don't they? They add a new drone service and the competitors come along and copy. You lower your drone prices and then they match you. You upgrade equipment and everyone upgrades too. Every advantage feels temporary, and it is. Close rates fluctuate. Revenue, well, it feels arbitrary and unpredictable. Well, that is an effort-driven selling model. But in contrast, drone entrepreneurs who scale long-term, they escape that cycle by reinforcing the structure. And that structure is built on 5 forces. Here's the blueprint. There are 5 structural forces determining whether your proposals close or stall: positioning, diagnostics, conviction, friction, and commitment. Every sales outcome you experience can be traced back to one of these 5 forces. All right, so let's walk through each of these 5 forces so that you're able to identify exactly where your selling structure needs enforcement. Once you see these forces clearly, you'll never look back at your old sales process the same way again. To understand how deal flow is engineered, we need to break down these 5 forces in detail. Think of them as the load-bearing walls on your revenue system. If one wall weakens, well, then the entire structure becomes unstable. Here's the breakdown. Strategy 1 is positioning force. Positioning is what your client believes about you before you even send a proposal. Are you just another drone operator? Or are you a strategic aerial solutions partner who solves real business problems? Strong positioning protects your pricing. It accelerates trust. It reduces competitive bidding. It gives you access to real decision makers. Weak positioning, on the other hand, creates price pressure and comparison shopping. If the first question you hear is, "What's your price?" then it's not a budget issue. It's a positioning issue. Diagnostic force is strategy too. Diagnostics is your ability to define the real business problem. When a client says they need aerial footage, that's rarely the true objective. Strong diagnostics, they create urgency. They justify budget. They align stakeholders. Weak diagnostics, they turn you into nothing but a line item. Now, if you're just sending proposals without fully understanding what happens if they do not hire you, well, then your diagnostics are weak. Next, conviction force. Conviction is not about interest. It's about belief. It is the buyer's confidence that your solution will work for them. Strong conviction moves a deal from possibility to probability. And if you hear, "Well, let me think about it," more often than you hear, "Hey, let's move forward," your conviction is your bottleneck. Number 4 is your friction force. Friction is the silent deal killer. It shows up as hesitation, unclear scope, confusing pricing, vague timelines, internal misalignment. If deals stall after verbal alignment, that means friction is hiding somewhere in your process. And finally, the 5th force is the commitment force. Commitment is the engineering factor. It's a clear path from alignment to action. When commitment is strong, next steps are well defined and revenue activates quickly, which is what we want. Now, if you do not define the next step before ending a call, then you're leaving commitment to chance. These 5 forces are the structural foundation of your sales system. But here is where it becomes powerful. They don't just add together. No, they multiply. This is the most important concept in the entire model. Your growth is not additive. It's multiplicative. Let me explain. Additive growth means you add more effort, more sales calls, more proposals, more follow-ups. If you want more results, you got to work harder. Multiplicative growth is different. It means you improve the system. Every part works together. If one part is weak, it drags everything down. And it doesn't matter how strong the others are. But when all 5 forces are strong and aligned, momentum builds, resistance drops, deals move faster. You close more sales without having to work harder. Additive growth, it makes you busier, while multiplicative growth, it makes you better. And better systems, they scale, and that's the difference. Sustainable sales growth equals positioning times diagnostics times conviction times friction mitigation times commitment clarity. If one force approaches 0, then growth collapses. See, strong positioning cannot compensate for weak diagnostics. Clear diagnostics can't overcome weak conviction. High conviction can't survive excessive friction. And alignment without structured commitment results in stalled deals. If your close rate increases from 20% to, say, 35% without increasing lead volume, well, your revenue expands dramatically without flying more missions. That is the leverage we're looking for. Activity amplifies structure. It doesn't replace it. You see, growth is not about pushing harder. It's about strengthening the weakest gear in the machine. Let's see what this looks like in the real world. Imagine you're pitching a $30,000 construction progress contract. You show beautiful footage. You outline deliverables. They're excited. They nod. But then you hear, "Looks good. Let us review this." And then weeks pass. Then the silence, the crickets. Was it your drone? No. How about your editing? Was it terrible? No. It was structure. Now, let's flip that. Clear diagnostics, strong conviction, low friction, defined commitment. The contract closes. Same skills, different architecture. The difference between stalled proposals and signed contracts is rarely capability. It all comes down to structure. All right, let's put this to use. Let's make it practical. If you want to strengthen your structure immediately, here's what you do over the next 7 days. Rewrite your positioning to focus on business outcomes. Add 3 required diagnostic questions to every discovery call. Include 1 highly relevant case study in every proposal. Simplify pricing and clarify scope. And be sure to end every call with a defined next step. Never end with, "Well, let me know." Small structural adjustments compound faster than you think. All right, we can't control the weather. We can't control FAA relationships. We can't control competitors lowering their prices. But we can control the structure of how we close deals. Drone entrepreneurs often believe growth comes from flying more jobs. It doesn't. Growth comes from converting better. Flight skill, well, that builds credibility. Sales structure builds scale. And that's what we're looking for. You're not just a drone pilot. You are an architect of a revenue system. So let me ask you, which one of these 5 load-bearing walls is weakest right now in your drone business? Strengthen those first, because closing more contracts is not something you chase. It's something you engineer. You'll find a direct link to this article, Why Drone Pilots Fail to Close Deals, and the 5 Forces That Fix It, along with access to hundreds of practical vetted drone business strategy resources offered at Aerial Northwest in today's show liner notes. I also invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Drone Pilot MBA business expansion strategy insights. Stop flying harder. Start closing smarter. I'm Tony Marino. I wish you all green lights. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon, and keep on droning. If you have any questions, let us know. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you'd like to hire us, you can get more information by visiting aerialnorthwest.com. Be smart, safe, and fly responsibly.